What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJams.com. Happy to bring you another lesson. It was by request. A lot of new requests for this one. It's kind of a new song. What I did was I checked the song out and I realized that the whole guitar is tuned into this kind of funky B tuning. It does give you a really cool sound, but what I was thinking is, how could I put it into an arrangement where it's standard tuning, easy, but still sounds authentic? And that's what I did. So it's my own arrangement. I've got the capo on the 4th fret. Pretty much, it's pretty accurate. And, you know, I was thinking of you singers out there that want to sing a bunch of different songs. You don't have to grab a guitar that's in another tuning or, you know, spend the time to tune the whole thing. Here it is right here. And also, speaking of requests, I haven't said this in a while, but I take my requests actually on my request list, where you join my email list, and the link for that is right there. Once you opt in, you can reply with your request, and then I queue the request up. So I know a lot of you just write the request, you know, write in all those comments, but I really only take my requests through my email list. So keep that in mind. It's right down there. And let's zoom in and break this one down right now. Here we go! All right, like I said, this is my own arrangement. It's going to sound pretty darn close, and like I was thinking of people that want to sing it in a set, like a acoustic set where they're singing. They don't have to completely retune it and do this funky tuning. It's going to be pretty close. But anyway, put the capo on the 4th fret, and if you're a beginner and you want to be able to play and sing this song, and I know there's a lot of you out there, it's basically a C chord to a G chord, and then you turn it around on a D chord, the 3 most famous chords of all time. So we've got C, G, C, G, C, G, turn around on the D, stays on the D, starts over, C to the G, C to the G, C to the G, the D. And if you're not good enough to get this little counter melody in that I'm going to show you, Jack the man is whistling the melody on the recording. So it's kind of a cool thing. You can play the chords and whistle the melody, just an option. So that is the core of the song, though, especially if you're a beginner. There's a bridge section that happens one time in the song, which adds an E minor chord. I'm going to show it to you as we get there. But the whole song is pretty much that C to G, C to G, C to G, turn around on D. Now, though, let me show you the melody that can be played with those chords, and that happens at the same time. Gives you a nice little trick to add to your acoustic arsenal, and it's not too difficult. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just considering the capo the 0 fret now, you know, so when I say the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then I'm still going to refer to it the high E, the B, the G, the D, the A, and the low E, even though the tones have changed because of the capo. Don't worry about it. Okay, so underneath the C chord, the first time, we need a 3, and then the 0, and then the open B, all underneath a C chord. And so the easiest thing to do is for that C chord, if you're playing this melody, is to just keep your index finger off. Now when you play this, that's called a C major 7 chord. But now we're going to add our pinky there, and we do something like this. And then get that open B in there. And then when I go to the G chord, I'm going to still use my ring, middle, and pinky. Might be hard for you. You could do this. But we want the 3rd fret on the B string for the G chord. So it does something, the second time it goes to G, it does something different. So the first time on C, the next C is the same, but when we go to the G, we got to go 3, 2, 0 on the B string while we hold the G chord. Another good reason to use your ring finger instead of your index, because how are you going to get to that first fret on the B string? You could figure it out, I'm sure. Okay, so check it out. Here we go from the top. Next time, same thing. And now that D turnaround, the melody is 3 on the B string, open, and then second on the G from that D chord. Now what I'm doing to get that D chord while I'm doing it, I'm adding my pinky to the 4th of the G, which is the same as the open B. So I'm going, just to get a fuller sound. You could go, which is easier, but I'm going. And when he's in that low B tuning, which is definitely a funky tuning, you have to change 5 of the 6 strings to do it. He does a slide, but in this kind of easier version, I'm going to hammer on that 2nd fret of the A, and then play this D with it, and then release it. And then the whole thing starts over. So now there's another trick, and this is going to work anytime you play a C to a G chord. This is actually pretty hard for me to play in standard tuning, you know, and with no capo, because the frets are a little bit farther apart. But basically, I'm adding my pinky to the 4th fret of that D string from the C chord. See that? And then this open G. All right, so that bridge section, you got to go to an E minor now. So we've got E minor, G, again. E minor to the G. Another time. E minor to the G. A minor 7. C, 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 G. And the G's twice as long. Into the chorus again. So let me show you that again. It goes E minor to G. A second time, E minor to G. A third time, E minor to G. Now it's an A minor 7. And because of the way, that funky tuning, it's kind of worked out a little differently with that open tuning, but this is definitely, I think, the strongest chord you can get in standard tuning. A minor 7. It's like an A minor chord, but the ring finger off. And then you just add, look at that. You just add your ring finger. Carry the load, I got you. G chord. So let me play that bridge all the way from the top one more time. Here we go. E minor, G. E minor to the G. E minor to the G. A minor 7. A minor 7. C, C, C. I got G. I got G, C. And all the other chords. And it keeps going. So that's the bridge. The rest of the song speaks for itself. Hope you got something from that. All right, that was it. Hope you got something from that. Remember, I take my request on that request list. And I also send you a bunch of free goodies down there. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate the support very much. And I hope to see you again real soon. Take care.